Warning: this podcast features adult subject matter, adult language, and things not meant for children to hear. Viewer discretion is advised. You've been warned. I think we could be, might be, looks like we are, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here on the I'm No Joe YouTube channel for the kickoff of season 3 here on I'm No Joe. We're actually starting things off with a brand new show on a brand new day at a brand new time. I know, holy shit, we're actually doing different things. It's amazing. Sometimes people say they're going to do stuff and they do stuff. We're people. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to what we are affectionately referring to as the Joe Liminaries, the show before the show to get you warmed up for the show. This is going to be your home for all things news and recent events, fight announcements, fight cancellations, just things happening in the MMA world. What we normally would have had on the news and recent events segment of the I'm No Joe podcast, we're actually going to give its own little breadth and depth here so that if a story comes up and we need to tangent, we can kind of tangent and it's not going to really impact us being able to talk about the fights themselves. Sorry, a moth just flew in front of me. That was weird. But fret not, mon ami. Tomorrow night, every Thursday night that we have the opportunity to, we are still going to have the I'm No Joe podcast. Tomorrow being no exception. We will be here for the full gamut, breaking down not just this weekend's UFC 251, but also next Wednesday's fight night, Abu Dhabi from Fight Island, Ige versus Cater, which is going to be a fucking spectacular card, despite some craziness already happening, which we will also be live for. A combat compatriot will occur during that Wednesday night, so hence us breaking that card down tomorrow with 251. And my Bluetooth is already freaking the fuck out. Sorry in advance if this is a total shit show. Things are going crazy, as is the case sometimes. But that being said, getting into it, to start off season 3 with our newsiest of new news shows, I have got the freshest guest a man could ask for across from the octagon with me this fine evening. Mr. Fresh 03, how the fuck are you doing, sir? Just getting in early. Oh, so first thing right out of the gate, for those of you who don't know yet, there have been so fucking many fights switched for this Fight Island scenario. To their credit, they are doing things properly. It is all being tested through the ass. They are being as meticulous could possibly be. There goes shit off my desk. Testing, safety. Kudos for that aspect of it. The downside of that is that, unfortunately, with more testing comes more positive results. So Backstreet is absolutely back despite what we may have previously thought, and we have got several fights that have been swapped out because of it here. Not only fights that have been swapped out, but now fights that have been added because other fights have been dropped due to the Backstreet Boys coming in and just being rude. Hang on, I don't know if they're getting your audio because my Bluetooth is freaking out again. Give me just a moment here. Interesting. What a splendid time for my Bluetooth to decide to completely shit the bed. I'm going to do that thing that everyone always says to do, and I'm going to try turning it off and turning it back on again. Well, shit. I have a last minute on the fly fix idea. Hang on to your assholes, folks. We're trying shenaniganery on the fly. Okay, Fresh, talk for me, please. No, I can see you talking and I can't hear you, son of a bitch. Oh, my ish is so bananas right now.
You want to give me your stream key and I can do it?
Oh, the good news is that they can hear you now.
Oh, they can hear me now. Excellent.
Oh, this is some grand shit.
Jay.
Oh, I think I might have gotten it. Holy shit, I think I just on the fly fixed it. Okay, so now I've got sound. I've got to give them sound again. Okay, so now they should be able to hear you as well.
Okay.
Yay, there we go. Okay, so that was fucking ridiculous. So we're going to try and speed this up as to not completely fuck this up, because after our Wednesday night Joe Luminary shows, we will be preceding the proceeding show of the Cloudy Bunker, hosted by our regular combat compatriot here on the Thursday night shows, the one and only GolfTeeVapes himself, over on the GolfTeeVapes YouTube channel. So we're going to try and kick this in the ass as to not drag over onto his show. We'll get this worked out. First one I want to talk about real quick, one that they actually added last minute to this coming weekend's UFC 251 card. It's kind of a rollback. Jack Shore originally had an opponent. The opponent got pulled. Jack Shore originally was going to just not fight. Then they said, hey, if we can get you a last minute replacement, you still want it? Jack Shore said, fuck yeah. So they actually called up an oldie but a goodie, Aaron Phillips, who actually previously was signed by the UFC, went 0-2, a very bad 0-2 loss, got cut, went to a different organization, went 5-1, looking spectacular in all four of them being knockouts, and then the UFC called him because they need a fight on short notice. So Aaron Phillips coming in with officially a 5-3 pro record to step up against the 12-0 Jack Shore as a last-minute replacement.
That's a dangerous fight for
That's
Jack Shore.
That's going to be a neat fight.
Yeah. It's a dangerous fight. Somebody's got cut, getting their shot to come back. It's not the dude you want to fight on short notice.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Next one I want to mention real quick, not the UFC 251 Fight Island, but still July 25th, one of the later Saturdays, the last Saturday they will be there, I believe. They are adding a potential new co-main event here. Carla Esparza versus Marina Rodriguez officially being rebooked, getting the ladies a chance to get in on Fight Island and get some headline time as well.
Good. I'm interested to see where Esparza's boxing has gotten. She's always been pretty crisp, but supposedly there's been a lot of work in her camp. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
and hopefully it's going to show.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Next one I want to talk about real quick. Another rebooking, not for Fight Island, but coming up later in the summer, August 29th to be exact. Ryan Hall being rebooked against Ricardo Lamas. That's going to be a very interesting one to see play out as well.
Yeah, Ryan Hall. I mean, that's kind of. But that is an interesting fight. See where that
Right.
goes.
It's going to be interesting to see how that shakes loose, because that holds a lot of potential in the division depending on how that one plays out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could move some folks around. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Good fight. Good fight. Good call, Dana.
Yeah, no shit. Interesting one here as well. The week before that card, August 22nd's event, officially has its main event announced just this week. The return from heavyweight back down to light heavyweight. 205 apparently is where this gentleman's going to try and stay. OSP is coming back against... Okay, hang on. I got to look at this gentleman's fucking name again. Shlomil Gamzatan. They were originally booked before OSP decided he was going to go play at heavyweight and realized that that was a bad idea. And now that he is back at light heavyweight, they're just going to go ahead and put that fight right back on like he didn't just go up to heavyweight and get slapped around. Okay.
Be good to see him moving around at a lighter weight. Is he really... the reason he lost that fight is his gas tank ran out. So
Yeah.
And then he got
Which,
stomped on.
when you're fighting somewhere you're not used to weight-wise,
That can happen.
it's a possibility.
It might be your comfy walking around weight, but you know, doing 15 or 25 minutes in the fucking octagon will get you. So good to see him back where he belongs.
Right, I was going to say, back where we know that he can perform is at light heavyweight.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see him back where we know he can do something.
I mean, yeah, at 205 we
Next
know that.
interesting one that they have announced for that August 22nd card as well. Michelle Watterson, the Karate Hottie, taking on Angela Hill. Possibly her first full camp fight in 2 years now?
That'd be interesting. Yeah, I mean, Angela Hill,
I mean,
she carried a lot of TV time on her back over the last year. So yeah, she just stepped in for any fight that they would give her.
yeah. And not
She
that I
didn't
think that the
care.
full camp's going to make that much of a difference realistically against Watterson, because I think Watterson really is a
Watterson's
league ahead of
probably
her.
stop but
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Watterson really is a league ahead of her, but I think it's going to be interesting to see if there's a difference to notice
Angela Hill.
in full camp Angela Hill versus 9 fucking short notice fights in a row Angela Hill.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's earned her money over the last year. So.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. She definitely put her work in, but we'll see. Next one, real quick. This one is gonna be interesting as shit. July 25th, that last Fight Island fight night on Fight Island, I guess they're gonna call them. I don't know. They haven't officially even addressed that yet. The 25th, anyways, of July. Francisco Trinaldo welcomes the former Cage Warriors champion, Jai Herbert. That has got fucking potential for explosives all
Yeah, that
over.
could
Jai
be-
Herbert has a very admirable fucking highlight reel, and Francisco Trinaldo is a walking muscle. Like,
That could be
quite
fun.
literally,
That could
that
be a lot-
gentleman
that
is the definition of yoked.
that could be fireworks. That's some. You got some one-shot power in there too. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I dig it. Welcome aboard. Let's see if you can take a shot to the face. I like it.
I'm paying attention.
I'm
Dana definitely has
done.
me
I'm
paying
done.
attention, that's for sure.
I'm just. Could be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So another last minute addition to Fight Island. This one on 251 this coming Saturday. Last minute ad: Jimmy Rivera versus Cody Stamen.
Jimmy Rivera. Okay.
They are bringing Rivera back to either give him a chance or get him the fuck out. But they are giving Cody Stamen that short notice turnaround time, and I think that's going to be an interesting performance.
See how Cody does, yeah.
Yeah, because he went pretty fucking hard, but he definitely got his fucking money's worth, too.
Yeah. Was it? Yeah. Cody Stamen, I mean, Cody Stamen's got a nice shot at that.
It's going to be a good fight, I think.
Yeah. Dude fighting for his job.
Yeah. So, I mentioned previously, the Backstreet Boys are fucking up fights left and right. Not only are they fucking up fights, they're fucking up corners. Just yesterday, it was announced Mike Brown, the coach of the Stars, has officially popped hot for the Rona, and they caught it in Vegas before he was going to Abu Dhabi to corner Jorge Masvidal. He was actually on his own when he got tested before they actually went to the lockdown in Las Vegas. So he has been separate from Masvidal and basically all the other fighters since. Turns out he is asymptomatic. He doesn't have any of the fucking signs, but he got 2 positive tests in a row, confirmed he is at least an asymptomatic carrier, if not in the beginning stages before he starts to get symptoms showing. But again, nobody's safe. No matter how healthy you are, no matter how careful you are, this is something everybody's susceptible to.
And it's good that they caught it. It's good that they caught Mike Brown.
Yes.
Before he got to Abu Dhabi.
And spread it to potentially everyone.
especially since I mean we haven't even had a chance to talk since the main event got fucked. So.
Yeah. No, we'll get to that in just a second here.
Yeah, I figured you were saving that for your.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely my meat and potatoes. You know how I do it. Another fucking oh my god, I can't believe they did it. But they did it. Just announced about 2:00 this morning. I actually saw the live breaking notification go out and went, oh shit. September 12th. Yes, they're already booking out that fucking far. September 12th's card officially has its headline, boys and girls. Glover Teixeira versus Thiago Santos.
Ooh. I didn't see that fight. I didn't see that announcement. That is...
Right?
Oof.
With what we have seen from both of them...
Yeah. Like I've been
counting
Glover
now
out
with,
for how many
Smith going to heavyweight?
Fights in a row have I counted him out? And he just keeps winning.
Or not Smith, Gustafsson rather, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Gustafsson coming back going to heavyweight. Now we got Glover and Thiago going at it. Like, shit's getting real interesting with the big boys right now. Real interesting.
All right, Glover.
Right? I see you.
Keep proving me wrong, man. Good for you.
So, interesting last minute one, again, from just today. The other thing that we're going to be quickly throwing in, because there's not a whole lot now that things have gotten weird on that as well, for tomorrow night's I'm No Joe podcast is actually talking about this weekend's secondary event that isn't getting quite as much press just yet because Abu Dhabi is fucking huge. Not only do we have the introduction of Fight Island this weekend, we also get the introduction of Sug Island. For those of you who don't know, Uncle Chael is not stopping just because the UFC went to Abu Dhabi. We have SUG Island. There is absolutely an event this Sunday coming up. The bad part about that is that just because it's not in Abu Dhabi doesn't mean it's immune from the Rona. We actually got the co-main event. Now the co-main event was originally going to be... I think it was still whatever. Co-main event got fucked up on Submission Underground 16 coming up this weekend. We were originally going to get to see Jillian Robertson coming off of a fucking spectacular performance in the Octagon to step in against the person who put on another previous great performance in the octagon against a UFC fighter, Amanda Lowen. Amanda Lowen versus Jillian Robertson was one of the most anticipated ladies grappling matches of 2020 so far, hands down. Turns out Jillian Robertson's teammate just popped hot for the Rona. 2 tests in a row confirmed. She was a training partner of Jillian Robertson's. They had literally trained together and sparred lightly during the course of the last week. So there was direct contact, so they are all quarantined for 14 days now, and because of that, obviously they had to pull from the event. Oh, and there went my fucking sound again. And apparently my neighbors decided that right now is the best time to mow their fucking lawn. Thanks, guys. Okay, hang on just a second here, folks. Try and connect to Bluetooth one more time real quick. And my sound is all kinds of fucked right now. Of course it is. Of course my sound is fucked. It's been a hell of a day. That's partially why we're running late and why we've been fighting things. This is not fun. I'm gonna go buy a fucking wired headset apparently because I can't have anything fucking wireless today. I don't even know if they can even still hear me or us. Nothing seems to be working right now. God damn it. So I can hear you from my computer, which is down in the fucking desk down there because it doesn't have direct speakers connected to it. And I don't know if OBS has picked up the audio change because the Bluetooth is still technically turned on. It's just being a piece of shit. Yay for live. And fuck you neighbors for mowing your lawn at 9 o'clock at night. Okay, so we're going to try and wrap this up real quick since everything seems to be working out so fucking splendidly at the moment. And Cloudy Bunker is coming up in a little over 20 minutes, and I am not going to step on them toes. I'm going to apparently doing troubleshooting on my fucking computer in the meanwhile. So the last one that I do want to take a quick moment to talk about here is the main event for 251, like we mentioned earlier, is officially off, but not officially off. It is still on. It's just not what it originally was booked as. The fight that we all originally wanted to see wasn't going to happen, and now, ironically enough, thanks, question mark, to the Backstreet Boys, we're getting the fight that we originally wanted. Unfortunately, the negative side is that Gilbert Burns has come up positive for the Backstreet Boys and is officially quarantined, not going anywhere. Again, another one who is asymptomatic, does not have any symptoms present, does not have fever, any of the typical symptoms, but has now failed, I think, 3 tests for Gilbert because the first one they thought was a false positive, so they did another one immediately, same thing, and they thought because the first one might have been a false positive, they did a secondary to confirm the second wasn't a false positive. Gilbert got the Backstreet Boys. He is officially out. What that did, though, was that opened the door for the negotiations, and that's exactly what happened immediately afterwards. news on that broke out, was negotiations between the UFC and Jorge Masvidal's manager, Abe. Jorge basically released a statement the second that Gilbert was confirmed and said that he would be more than happy to step in on short notice and take that title fight if the UFC was willing to meet that magic number, which happens in, I'd say, about a third of title fights these days. Something happens and the UFC's got to back a truckload of money up to somebody's fucking house. This time Jorge was just open about it right away and was like, yo, right here, driveway's this way, like, line it up. Well, Dana did it. Dana sent them fucking trucks rolling. They came through, and we officially got an interview not 45 minutes before this show started. The one and only Uncle Chela himself got a personal interview from one Jorge Masvidal live from Abu Dhabi. It's real. The UFC allegedly, because this is, secondhand knowledge through the internet and whatnot, the UFC allegedly told Jorge that he would have to sign a 10-fight contract renewal in order to make this happen. But the difference is that he may be now the first fighter coming into a championship fight. For those of you who don't know, in a championship fight on a pay-per-view card, the champion gets part of, they call it points. It's a percentage of the total revenue generated through the pay-per-view. Jorge not only is coming in getting points as the challenger in a title fight, Jorge is actually getting champion rate points. He's matching pay-per-view with what Kamaru is getting, in Jorge's words, because the people are coming to watch this fight for me and not him. So he not only is now on a 10-fight brand new contract extension, but he might be one of the first fighters to come in as a challenger getting champion rate pay-per-view points.
Gilbert Burns get his shot. Dude's been wrecking shop against anybody they've thrown him at. So I was really looking forward to it because I think he would have been a really good counter for Usman's wrestling. He certainly has the striking to put Usman down. He's one of those dudes that can hit you from anywhere and knock you out. So I was really looking forward to Gilbert Burns getting a shot. He's a newer face he's a newer up and coming face in the division. Nice fresh blood in there.
Yeah, I was
really looking forward to seeing it, but
I was curious to see how Burns was going to handle that as well.
Hospital, always up for a Jorge Masvidal fight. Always up for it. So yeah, I mean, we switched from a really good main event to a really good main event. So didn't change a whole lot. And I think Jorge's certainly got the skills to counter Usman. He's dangerous dude in the ring. He was in his pink bathrobe eating pizza the whole way.
Bright pink Versace bathrobe.
Yeah, bright pink Versace bathrobe. He's got his new deal that he wanted. He's getting the money he was hoping for, and I think he's got a great shot at taking down Usman. I think he's got a great shot at taking down Kamaru Usman, which is what everybody wants to see, is Kamaru Usman get taken out. So there you go.
But we will get more into our thoughts.
Hopefully Burns gets run back. Hopefully Burns gets a run back and gets a title shot next.
Right.
I think at this point, with all the faces that he's destroyed and choked out and everything else that he's done, I think he's due. I think he's due a shot. So
it's gonna be interesting. But I'm gonna save our thoughts on how that one's gonna play out for tomorrow night over on the I'm No Joe podcast, Thursday night, 9:30 Central PM, right here on this particular channel. Who knows who all is going to be there? We've got a couple folks who might show up. We should have an interesting panel to break down 251 and Fight Night, Cater, Ige. But
You guys gonna be so good.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun show. We've got a lot of interesting things to talk about, but we are going to get the fuck out of here because the Cloudy Bunker is coming up in a little over 20 minutes over on the GolfTeeVapes YouTube channel, and he's got his sound set up way better than I do, so he shouldn't have the issues that we're having here. So we're gonna go ahead and get the fuck out of here. Remember, as we call that all for this evening, I can words. Don't let ignorance stop you. You can root for anything. We'll catch you later, folks.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. How do I say goodbye to what we had? The good times.